All right, we're coming up on the end here, so a couple finishing up questions.
Sure.
So, it's a good time for you to give a plug on the Evil Hat. So, is business going well with Evil Hat, and are there things coming down the pipeline that people should be knowing about?
Yes, business is going great. There's a few areas that have been particularly successful, I would say. One is we are finally rounding up our very first Kickstarter, which was the Dinocalypse trilogy Kickstarter, because the Dinocalypse trilogy was actually 10 books. There was the 3 books in the trilogy plus 7 add-on books in the Spirit of the Century line. So Pharaoh of Hong Kong and Dinocalypse Forever and Stone's Throw are all going to be released very soon. They're all in their finishing stages right now. So I'm very happy that that Kickstarter is finally going to deliver to those people who backed so long ago. That's very exciting. Another really great initiative that we've taken that I've been really excited about is the Patreon campaign, the Fate World and Adventures Patreon. We had been wanting to develop adventures for Fate Core since we released it, but without some kind of paid model, it was gonna be very slow going. We originally planned on doing the Venture City Adventures, Venture City Stories. Sorry. We originally planned on doing those as sort of our only free download adventure. And if you look at the Dresden Files free downloads on Drive Through RPG, they're really good products, but they never really got the publicity and the excitement wrapped around them to ever be particularly noticed. And so the great thing about Patreon is that we're getting money to be able to release these on a regular basis, which is fantastic. We've released 5 of them so far, and we have a bunch more on the pipeline. I expect we'll have one a month for 2015. At the very least, we'll have 12 in 2015. They might bunch up a little bit. We might not. We might have 2 in one month and none the next. But we've got more than 12 in development now, but at least 12 that I think are gonna finish up no problem. And that's just been a fantastic way to allow people to have some input, because our insiders get to select from various pitches that authors provide. It's been a way for us to diversify our talent pool. We've gotten a whole lot of new people that have never written for us. It's been a way for us to offer a mentoring program where we've taken more experienced people and put them together with newer writers and newer editors, because it's on a small project where we can sort of afford to do that. And it's gotten a lot of excitement wrapped around the adventures. I mean, The Secret of Cats, The Save Game, The Aether Sky, like all of these Aether Sea, sorry, all of these when they released had an instant fan base, because there's already people that were, much like in any kind of crowdsourcing, people are sort of pre-invested before the product even comes out. So that's been excellent. 2014 was not sales-wise was not a great year. Fred just released the numbers, and we can see that we sort of just barely broke even, but that's because we didn't have a ton of physical releases in 2014. Atomic Robo and Zeppelin Attack were the big ones, but we had a lot of digital releases, and we have a ton of products that are just like coming off the pipeline right now. Designers and Dragons, Monster of the Week, the re-release, Paranet Papers is going to be coming soon. We've got 3 of the Fate Worlds and Adventures prints coming out, and that's all just happening in the next couple months. So 2014 in a lot of ways was, in 2013 when we released Fate Core, Fate Worlds, Fate System Toolkit. After that, we went into heavy development for games that are now going to be released soon in 2015. So we managed to stay afloat, stay profitable, while gearing up to release a ton more. So I think 2015 is going to be a huge year for us. So yeah, I'm very excited about the hat. In terms of upcoming products, here's a few plugs for you. Young Centurions, we just closed the playtest applications for that. We'll be selecting playtesters in the next week or so, and we'll be playtesting that. Dresden Files Accelerated, I just talked to Lenny Bossera 5 minutes before this call, and we're looking at trying to do the second playtest for that in March. Dresden Lives, our LARP, we're looking at doing our second playtest on that in early this year. Q1 this year. I'm not sure the exact dates right now. Fate of the Flying Temple. Just went into editing, and after that I'll go into layout, and then we'll be printing that soon. War of Ashes, a product that I'm personally involved in. I'm the creative director on that project, which is a grimsical combinations of Muppets and Vikings. Is built on the Zombie Smith IP, War of Ashes. That is finishing up writing and editing this month, and supposed to go into layout beginning of February. So we've already seen some prototypes of the layout, which just look amazing. Super excited about that. Shadow of the Century, which has gone through a lot of ups and downs in development, we're planning on releasing a playtest for that in April or May. So yeah, there's Paranet Papers is done with proofing. Knock on wood, I want to say. We're ready to go to print on that very soon, and that has been long awaited. So yeah, lots and lots of new products either coming out or playtests for them opening up shortly. If you are not on the Evil Hat mailing list, I highly recommend getting on it, because we announce all this stuff there, and that way you can keep appraised. Because a lot of times we only leave open playtest application windows for like a week because they fill up so quickly. So if you want to get involved in playtesting, that's a great place to go. You go to the Evil Hat site, and there's a little option to add to set up on the mailing list there. And we do not spam. We send maybe 1 or 2 emails a month, and they're just updates about what we're doing. So
awesome. Okay, very cool. It sounds like you are incredibly busy. Thank you so much for sparing an hour to speak with me about all the stuff going on and shooting the breeze, as it were.
Sure.
And,
can I turn the tables a bit and ask
absolutely.
you a question, Brian? So, Brian, you are a cook and a geek.
Yes.
What is the special sauce that marries those two for you? Well, what are those both just independent interests, or do you find ways to sort of bridge the gap between those two yourself?
Oh, well, thank you for asking that. I definitely put in my. I guess they were divergent at one point, but let's see. I think it all happened when Jeremy Costu introduced me to David Hill and Philomena by sharing their Kickstarter link for Farewell to Fear. No, it was actually before that. It was Flat Pack. And I thought, what can I do on my previous blog that had nothing to do with geekery and all food? And so I thought, I'll do a tribute recipe for these guys. So I made a post-apocalyptic dinner out of mostly canned goods. And somehow made a ramen weird soup of... It was I'll share the link on this post at some point.
That sounds great.
But and then later, and Philomena was very happy that some fan-made recipe came out of it. And then when Farewell to Fear came out, I said, hey, would you guys want to collaborate again on something like this? And they said, sure. And then I wrote another fictional/real cookbook for them called Farewell to Foie Gras, to kind of parallel with that. Yeah, it was during the whole time with the whole ban on foie gras.
With the ban on foie gras, yeah.
Going on, so I had some issues with that name because I don't talk about foie gras at all in that, but
right. But it was a catchy name. Yeah.
It's a catchy name, and so yeah, I'm always trying to cook in a geeky way. And one more thing, I made there's a anime and manga called Yakitate Japan. Mm-hmm. Where the protagonist has solar hands and is able to make bread just amazing, more than regular people can. Mm-hmm. And one of the things he did was he made Indian naan, but he didn't know the existence of naan. and called it Japan, I think number 17. I forget the number, and it looked like naan, except it was in the shape of a volcano. And I wasn't able to do it the way he did, but I made naan in the shape of a volcano, and that was pretty popular.
Well, you couldn't do it the way he did because you don't have solar hands.
I don't have solar hands, and I don't have a stone oven that I could slap the naan to the roof and have it slowly sink down like a volcano. So I had to make some molds, but so.
I see. Well, I mean that's what you save up for, right?
Yeah.
Nice. That's killer. So if there weren't already so many sort of medieval-esque cookbooks out there, I'd say, hey, can you make me a recipe to go along with Stone Dragon Mountain, my climb Mount Everest torchbearer adventure? But I don't know. Maybe
I'm pretty sure I could still do something for you.
Maybe I still will.
It might be a different play on things, but yeah, let's talk about this offline. And
that sounds great.
Something's going to happen, Sean.
Definitely. Well, that is very cool. I'm very glad that you have bridged those two, because as I said, like, I love connecting gaming with things. So although food is not my forte, I do enjoy it. I do like myself some good eats, and you bridging those two is absolutely wonderful. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, and you're welcome. Okay, with that, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time, I hope, Sean.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for having me on.